90 days. The result is an all-natural, dark, rich soil amendment that's great for everything you grow. Flowers, vegetables, shrubs, trees, and lawns too. Look for Black Cow in the bright yellow and black bag at your favorite nursery or garden center.
Black Cow, the mature manure. Black Cow. WWWOCA,
This is WOCA, News Talk 1370.
This is James Snyder, inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM.
Thank you, Pastor Snyder. 10 minutes before 8 o'clock. Just take a moment. Just take a moment and realize you live in a beautiful place. There are places in this world that are way worse than now. It may get way worse than us. Now, it may get hot here. Okay.
Yeah.
I know that's the only complaint. But if that's the only complaint, come on. It's not bad. It's a beautiful place. Yeah. People from all over the world come to this part of the world for the very thing that you're seeing outside your window. It's that beautiful weather. Mm-hmm. They come all times of the year, too. Exactly. I know that people in the snowy parts like to come down here in the winter, and those who live in the snowy parts say, I don't want to be there in the summer because it's too hot. Well, it's all a matter of opinion. Mm-hmm. You get used to it. But the thing is this, it's a beautiful place, and I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad.
Not that I was thinking of leaving. I'm just saying it's a nice place. Well, you hear a lot of people always, the grass is always greener on the other side, and the other side is wherever. And a lot of, I have a few favorite places in this country that I seem to talk about a lot. New York, because I grew up there. California, because I just fell in love with the place.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away from my love for this place.
No.
All right, so there are some things in the news that I thought I would share with you. And if you have a thought on these, I would love to hear from you. I know we only have 8 minutes, so let me do these real quickly.
Okay.
First of all, the space station could get a laser cannon to destroy orbital debris.
That is pretty awesome.
Which means we have such a thing. The International Space Station could one day get armed with a laser to shoot down orbiting debris. The concept could eventually lead to a laser-firing satellite that could get rid of a large percentage of the most troublesome space junk orbiting Earth. NASA researchers suggest that nearly 3,000 tons of space debris is orbiting the Earth in low Earth orbit. Mm-hmm. Including derelict satellites, rocket bodies, and parts of tiny bits of wreckage produced by collisions involving larger objects. Mm-hmm. Impacts from pieces of junk that are only the size of screws can still inflict catastrophic damage on satellites, since these projectiles can travel at speeds of 22,000 miles an hour.
Wow. No, they don't.
If there's a screw that hits you traveling 22,000 miles an hour, yes, you will be hurt.
Yes, you will own NASA.
Isn't that an amazing little piece of information?
Well, they can get rid of asteroids then. They always have those asteroid warnings. Warning, warning, the asteroid is going to come close to Earth. Well, just zap it out of the sky with your laser. And you'll be fine.
I missed that. I don't remember those warnings. Warning!
That's right. It's an asteroid.
Sounds like a Will Robinson. The problem of space debris is growing as more satellites and spacecraft get sent into space. Large pieces of junk can generate lots of small fragments if they get hit. And those fragments can then go and strike other objects traveling 20-something thousand miles an hour.
Well, that's why I never understood why the space shuttle couldn't collect that debris and put it in its bay and then, bring it back on the return trip all the time.
Can you imagine flying around in space looking for a screw?
I bet they do.
Anyway, there's Extreme Universe Space Observatory scheduled to be installed on Japan's module on the space station in 2017. Mm-hmm. And that could help the orbiting complex detect dangerous debris. A powerful laser under development could then help shoot down the space garbage. Wow.
Yeah, this is...
The telescope, which was originally designed to detect cosmic rays, could also be put to use for the project as well, to shoot down debris, in other words.
Gosh.
The scientists would use the laser to vaporize a thin film of matter off the surface of the debris. The resulting high-speed plasma would act like a rocket plume, nudging the junk downward and away from the space station to burn up in Earth's atmosphere.
Well, test it out. Shoot at ISIS. See if it works.
ISIS.
You got to test it,
Italian ISIS? I love Italian ISIS. All right, the next one, Oliver North, who was a guest on our show.
Yes.
Even after he became famous.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And was very, very nice to us.
Oh, he was.
Super nice to us. You can say what you want about him, but when somebody's nice to me, I say good things about him.
Exactly.
Despite White House assurances on the contrary, the loss of the Iraqi city of Ramadi to Islamic State, ISIS, forces is not a minor setback, according to Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, retired, of course. U.S. forces fought every day in Ramadi between 2004 and 2007 because of the city's strategic importance, North said yesterday on Fox News Channel On the Record with Greta Van Susteren. It's the capital of Anbar province, the key to the Euphrates River Valley. It is the only land egress from Syria all the way to the Iranian border. So it is a very strategic part of the country. He says it's very important, and he says it's inviting a bloodbath of biblical proportions by having ISIS taking over that city. It's not a small deal. It's a big deal.
No. You had that news bites yesterday, too. You had something about
All right. So, that's...
Gosh, it's just so
somebody
scary.
who would know. I wouldn't know, but obviously he knows that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, I'm no expert, but it seems to me they could pick up all those screws and stuff by using one of these big giant magnets. And then they'll all come to them.
Yeah, just get a big magnet out in space.
Exactly. There you go.
I don't know why that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Let's have a
Thank you, Karen.
have a guy in a spacesuit just floating around there on his tether holding this big magnet.
Here's another story. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg sparked speculation Sunday rather, when she mentioned the Constitution while officiating a same-sex wedding.
Okay.
According to New York Times columnist Maureen Dowd, who attended the wedding in the Embassy Row neighborhood of Washington, D.C., Ginsburg's comments might have been a hint of how the High Court will rule on the constitutionality of same-sex marriage this summer. Ginsburg wrote, with a sly look and special emphasis on the word Constitution, she wrote that she was pronouncing the two men married by the powers vested in her by the Constitution of the United States.
Okay.
It doesn't really mean that's how they're going to vote, but
Yeah.
no one was sure if she was emphasizing her own beliefs or giving a hint to the outcome of the case of the Supreme Court in considering whether to decide if same-sex marriage is constitutional. The guests applauded loudly, it says right there. I've been saying forever, and I heard Glenn Beck say it yesterday, so because he's more famous than me, people will think I'm copying him.
Yes, what you said
But
first.
but I said it first. It doesn't mean anything when you say something first. I mean, somebody has the same opinion as you. It doesn't mean you influence them. But anyway, I've said all along that the states, the government, they should have nothing to do with marriage anyway. Mm-hmm. Nothing. There should be nothing to do with it. It should be between two people and their religious beliefs, their church.
Right.
And a church shouldn't be forced to perform a wedding that it finds against their beliefs. It shouldn't be allowed. You should allow a church to behave the way it wants to, and if they don't suit you, if their beliefs don't suit you, then you're not part of that church.
Exactly. Go somewhere else.
All right, and the last thing, I got a minute for this one. Senator Richard Burr, chairman of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, reportedly is working on legislation that would extend surveillance powers under the Patriot Act before the controversial law is allowed to expire at the end of the month. Oh. When the Patriot Act was first put into place, I can remember this way back in the early parts of the days after 2001, the attacks of 2001. I was in favor of the Patriot Act. Maybe stupidly so, but I was. And then our listeners educated me about why it was not a good thing, and I changed my mind about it. Mm-hmm. Anyway. All right, we'll take a little break, and we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Police in Waco are bracing for violence after threats from biker groups.
170 gang members remain in jail after that brawl that left 9 dead and 18 hurt at a Waco restaurant that's now shut down after losing its franchise since it knew ahead of time about that biker meeting.
Fox Radio's Tanya J. Powers.
Sergeant W. Patrick Swanton was shocked at what they fought with.
Some of those weapons are as, I don't want to say prehistoric, but we're talking chains with padlocks on the end of them.
Bond is set at $1 million for each one of them.
The investigation continues into the deadly derailment of the Amtrak train in Philadelphia. FBI has found no evidence of damage from a firearm, though the NTSB hasn't ruled out the possibility something else may have struck the windshield. And the State Department says it wants to release some of the emails from former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton by next January. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Fox News Early Prime, breaking down business news and its impact on your bottom line. Your World with Neil Cavuto.
That's how I do business. That's why I am business.
Bold positions and brash opinions on the topics America is buzzing about. The Five.
How do you think this will set in with the American people?
This will be the pulse of the nation.
Washington insight and political know-how from the best in the Beltway. Special report with Brett Baird.
The epicenter of the political world is here.
The #1 place for fair and balanced coverage. Fox News Channel.
What's wrong with working hard to make our lives and our kids' lives better? Nothing. At Fox Business, we don't have a problem with success. We have a very big problem with those who get in the way of it. We don't come out of the box bashing those who make money, just the politicians stealing it and the bureaucracies wasting it. We're not just sitting behind a desk. We're out in the field, on the floor, with the folks. Because when a story moves forward, so do we.
Fox Business, the power to prosper. Check your local listings.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here.